Hi everyone. We are still all facing the impact of the COVID-19 crisis in our everyday life, but we're also entering the summer holiday period here in Brussels. This summer holiday period is usually characterized by a slowdown in business and work, but this year is quite different, and the period is pretty busy with several initiatives going through the summer and also some expected by the second part of the year 2020. The INTA Europe office team is closely monitoring those activities, and here's some highlights on those activities. The first one is the new EU IP action plan or strategy, which is the new EU Commission strategy for the next 5 years in terms of IP. It covers practically any areas of IP from enforcement or registration, etc. It was due to be published last May, but due to the COVID-19 crisis, the work on that strategy has been postponed, and currently there's a consultation open for stakeholders to give their view. The actual strategy will be published in the second part of the year 2020. The second initiative, is the EU trade policy review. So basically, there again, the EU Commission will publish a strategy for the duration of the mandate, and this strategy includes a part on IP as well. A public consultation is currently ongoing and will run through September, and there again, INTA will provide an input. The third one is the new EU consumer agenda. So basically this was announced as early as July 2019 by the President of the European Commission. But as you can imagine, with the COVID-19 crisis, there is a strong part of that agenda that will really focus on the COVID-19 crisis and how to best protect consumers. For INTA and for anti-counterfeiting in general, it is a huge opportunity to plug, let's say, an IP or more specifically an anti-counterfeiting component to that agenda. And it's basically saying that the health and safety of European citizens are threatened by the rise of counterfeit products, and notably the fake mask, fake test, or fake COVID-19 related products that we saw rising during the crisis. And it's basically saying that a counterfeit or a fake product is an unsafe product and therefore threatens the protection of the European consumer. That's also something for which several consultations are ongoing and something on which INTA is focusing on. The fourth one is the EU initiative on AI, which is a global initiative for which a white paper has been published, the public consultation has already closed, and for which, let's say, the legislative proposal is expected by the end of this year or early next year. INTA's efforts are focused on including also there an IP component, which is notably using AI in terms of registration on the one hand and in terms of enforcement on another hand. Fifth, and very important as well, the possible upcoming review of the EU design legislative framework. For that, a public consultation has already been ongoing and closed, and basically the Commission recently published a report on the IP implication of 3D printing. The EU Commission is expected in September to publish an evaluation report of the public consultation and to open an inception impact assessment, basically a preliminary evaluation as to whether or not the legislative framework should be reopened. On that also, INTA has been very much involved since the beginning and still is at the current time. And then finally, one of the biggest and most important file for the EU as a whole is the Digital Service Act, the DSA, which is basically the review of the e-commerce directive from 20 years ago. And basically the main issue there is the issue of intermediary liability regime, basically what are the responsibility of the online actors when they have illegal content on their website. For this as well, INTA has been monitoring the situation closely and is currently working on drafting an input to the public consultation that will run until September 8th. And then this should be followed at some point next year by notably Digital Service Act legislative proposals. This is only to give you a snapshot of all the issues we're working on.